matches
who
on
probably
stream.
can't see. Great.
So it looks like Jordan's going to be mulliganing this hand. He's got one mountain, no other mana, and got a couple white spells. Troy is going to keep... Oh, no, Jordan decided to keep... Okay, he's got a Faithless Looting, so I think he's going to go with the aggressive start here.
Yeah, and he's got the spell bomb, I suppose.
Yeah.
So maybe he's expecting that will help him get somewhere. Nope, no, he drops the spell bomb and the Skyfisher.
Okay.
Interesting.
He didn't see any lands, though. That's a little rough.
But he's got, let's see, he's got Burn, he's got, I mean, he knows what Troy's on as
Right,
well.
exactly.
We did not hide Declos this time. So he knows that his Burn is going to be useful.
Oh, and he draws the second land. There we go.
Ooh, clutch.
Yeah, and this is... So, like, last week we were talking about, I know, when the Sword of Burn player wants to aim the burn at the creatures rather than the face. And this is exactly the kind of matchup where you want the burn to go to the creatures. Now, granted, Jordan isn't trying to win through just damage to the face like I was last week. But...
And that's going to be a big part of it as well, is
Yeah.
that you're going to see a lot more burn going at creatures in this matchup just because Jordan has that late game power.
Right.
So he can afford to do that.
Yeah. And he's going to be
see,
drawing. He's going to be drawing lots of cards, and so if he can just get rid of Troy's early creatures, he'll just win because the green player just runs out of cards. Now it's interesting here that he chose to play the Great Furnace before he looted, and I think that might have been a bit of a mistake here. And I think he realized it as well.
Yeah, I mean, unless he was planning to flashback the other Faithless Looting, yeah, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. And now, he just passed.
Yeah, he just passed. I don't know what. Yeah, Troy's gonna Rancor this Pit Skulk, and he's gonna get blown out.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Maybe here's what happened. Maybe Jordan said, the cards in my hand are good enough. I don't need to loot. I want to save this looting for once I've drawn some more cards.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And
because it is just looting, it's not actual card advantage.
Yeah.
We've just come off of the mono blue matchup, so I've got that in my head.
And now Troy effectively plays this. He swings in, keeping that Vines up, and plays this Bone Splitter post combat, where since he couldn't equip it anyway, there's no reason to play it pre combat.
Okay, we got a Prophetic Prism. That's going to be helpful. That'll help him cast.
He's close to his
white cards.
Yeah, he's close to his Galvanic Blast 2 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Rebirth. Metalcraft as well. Ooh.
He's looking at it.
I'm interested to see.
Nope, he's just going to loot.
Now he's going to loot. Interesting. I wonder what he's... Maybe he thinks his burn isn't useful enough here since Troy's off to the slow start, and he'll be able to stall out with goblins.
And look, he's going to toss a loot and the Rebirth. But now he has this white land.
That's interesting, because now he doesn't have as many blockers. Not that he could block the Pit Skull. He can cast his Journey to Nowhere, but I mean, he had the fixing off of the Prism already. Off the Ancient Den.
I think my computer is having some problems.
It's interesting. Both their time was taken down there. I haven't seen that before since he was disconnected.
Right, because it's... So if you're DC'd, your time always ticks down.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan had priority right then at that moment.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Sorry, we're back.
What are you doing, Jordan? Are you trying to burn something main phase?
Main phase burn is actually quite reasonable here. We know that Troy is running, all kinds of spells that prevent... Like he's running, he has Vines of Ashwood in hand here. I don't think it's crazy. He only has white mana, so he can't actually do... Oh, no, he has the Prism, so he can counter
Prophetic Prism.
Sure. So, yeah, it is correct here to just burn out this Pit Skulk.
Yeah, that makes sense. The only reason that you might not is if you assume that he's not going to draw another forest, and then you assume he's going to equip the Bone Splitter or cast a Rancor or cast something else, in fact, which is a pretty fair assumption. But if he draws the forest, then that can turn rough. So we'll see. If he
All right, so it looks like they're about to get back on their way. Yep, and he decides not to burn it out.
Okay. I think we're just going to see the Bone Splitter get equipped. the pit skull get burned out, and
Yeah.
the Jordan put on a happy, happy face.
Yep.
Ah, no. Okay, I think with all the tapping, Troy may have realized that there's something up.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, well, okay, he's got the Null Sentinel.
And now this is when he wants to burn it out. Or at end of turn, whatever. It's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. He's tapped out. There's not really good reason. There's not really good reason to do it, though. He can still just hold it up.
Yeah.
There goes the journey.
The 1 damage a turn isn't doing a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm. The Bone Splitter is the real issue here, so he wants to burn it in response to the equip to gain the tempo advantage.
And he just drops a Kabira Crossroads, just gaining 2 life and negating
Boing.
the large amount of what just happened.
Yeah. Sun Donation says, I am enjoying your stream. Pauper is a great format. Well, thank you. Just let us know if there's anything that we can do to make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out the YouTubes
Yeah.
later for the videos.
I know we've had some technical difficulties this week, but that should mostly be resolved in the near future.
Yeah. I may see if we can do the streaming off of my computer sometimes.
Well, it's not. Yeah, that's not the huge issue. It is part of it because you have multiple people on like Skype and TeamViewer and stuff. All right. Well, here comes a Rancor on the Pit Skulk.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to see the burn in response?
Here's the amusing thing here. If he bolts, there's no reason he wouldn't bolt this here.
Mm-hmm. And there's no reason that Troy will not.
But if Troy vines it,
Troy.
he's going to shroud his own Rancor away. So,
Oh, he's going to ground sweat.
he can play the land. That'll give it +4. That'll do
Now,
it.
we're going to see the counter burn. We see the counter burn. There it is.
Yep.
Counter spells without blue. That's
Yep.
what we're saying. And bye-bye Rancor. Have you any wall? Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot because Troy does have another Rancor in hand, so... Jordan's just used up a lot of his removal doing all of that nonsense.
Oh, but
You
here's
see
the
that?
Skyfisher. His engine is online now.
Yeah. Prophet Prism. Yeah, and now he's got a pretty sizable blocker. Not that... I mean, the Bone Splitter can get through that. But... Going to make things a little bit rough for Troy because he's got to commit that mana to equipping the Bone
Right.
Splitter before he can even think. What's Jordan got in hand here? I can't quite see it.
Oh, he moved a thing. He's got a mountain, it looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan's moving his music playlist there.
Yeah. So I imagine he's just going to be slow rolling that and pretending like it's burn for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Oh, and here comes the Glint Hawk.
Nice. So.
Which basically, it's a 2/2 that draws him a card.
A 2/2 for 3 in this case.
Yeah.
That draws him a card. With flying.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Very important in this matchup.
Now, there's one interesting thing there. See, he can still trade with the safe hold elite with the Glint Hawk, even if he equips the... And if he equips the Bone Splitter or not, doesn't make a big difference. If Jordan had left the Skyfisher up, it would have forced him to equip the Bone Splitter.
Before attacking.
Mm-hmm. But here, we'll see if he plays the Mountain. Yeah, he plays the Mountain because he wants to show that he is burn up at all times in this game. He doesn't want Troy to just have any free turns.
Right.
There's a Rancor. Does he have it? No. There's going to be a Glint Hawk going into this, I suspect.
Yeah. So a little bit of stream lag happening over here. There we go. It fixed itself.
Gotcha.
Oh, second Prism in hand. Yep. Yeah, I imagine that he's going to trade here.
No.
Interesting.
Nothing.
That is shocking.
Yeah. I guess he values the damage more. He thinks he's going to be able to gain more life.
But I mean,
Sure.
he has 2 bolts and a Galvanic Blast already in his graveyard.
Mm-hmm. And the safe hold elite, even if he manages to get rid of that... Okay, so he's flashing back Faithless Looting. Even if he manages to get rid of this elite, it's going to persist back and he'll have to deal with it again.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll make Troy commit more resources to enchanting and equipping all of that. So maybe he's just going for the tempo advantage there and saving the block for later. Not really sure. Because that Glint Hawk, I don't know what it's doing aside from just trying to push through damage. And I don't know that it pushes through damage better than any other
Right.
card in his deck. So unless he was hoping to draw into something, or if he's just hoping to trade hits back and forth, maybe he thinks he's going to be able to get enough life gain that it's not going to matter. Oh, he's got the... Oh, Origin Spell Bomb doesn't chump, though.
No, but it draws him a card, I guess.
Yeah, no, he needs to do it. But, it's a little bit rough. Now, what he really wants is that Cold Oath of Rebirth back.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect.
That's what you really like with the Origin Spell Bomb. What
Yes.
you're going for there, that you rebirth it and then pay the white to draw cards, so you get 3/1/1s and a card.
Right. Well, you get 4/1/1s,
And then-
right? And a card?
Oh, 4/1/1s.
Oh, never mind. No, that's right. No, you don't get the fourth one. You have to pay the cost to sack. You have to get the fourth one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, yep, Troy's just going to get in with his giant safe hold elite.
Mm-hmm. That's just gonna happen. I'm not sure who's got priority here. Somebody's... Okay. He's gonna pop it. It does have trample, so it's not doing too much interesting.
Well, he's going to draw a
If he
card,
just-
see if he can maybe do something.
Mhm. Mm. Okay, so
Troy's just going to do it now. He's just going to make it
Yeah,
huge.
yeah,
He knows that Jordan doesn't have any cards in hand, so he's just going to go ahead and do it now.
yeah, that makes sense.
Especially
he's
if
got
he
a
was going to do
huge
that
guy coming
anyway.
in.
So
Mhm.
Jordan's taking 10 here.
Yeah. So I've got him real low, and that safe hold lead is not going to be very small. We got a young wolf too. So he's got a lot of survival here. The mirror can block that young wolf, but the rancor can change that quickly. Yeah, next turn pre-combat playing rancor on young wolf can really make things awkward
Oh,
for
yeah.
Jordan, even if he has burn. What's he targeting here?
Maybe one of those little artifacts. Oh, he's going to get a land. No, he already had that.
Prophetic Prism? Is
Possibly.
he just looking to draw cards? Is he getting Spell Bomb? Is he? I'm not sure.
He's choosing the prism, it looks like. Yeah, he's going to go with the prism. Or is this... Okay, the prism. It looks like the prism. Yeah. I guess he just wants to draw cards.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's hoping to draw into removal. We'll see. Gargoyle is a 2/3 flyer, so he's got a lot of toughness sitting on the board now.
Yeah.
But he's going to need it.
So...
What's he draw off that?
He drew his
What's he got
core
in hand?
Skyfisher,
Okay.
but he doesn't have enough. He only has 1 mana here, so he can't cast it. I think he can play a land this turn. He hasn't yet.
Right, but what he can't do is bounce the Windscarred Crag and play it again.
Right.
But okay, attacking with the Glenhawk. Yeah, he wants the toughness of the Skyfisher and the Gargoyle. So, and he wants the 1/1 mirrorness of the mirror to be able to block that young wolf. Oh goodness.
So post combat, we see the Skyfisher coming down just to get more toughness on the board.
Yep. So it's just going to bounce Prism and then
Well, he might maybe bounce the Crag. I
Gargoyle?
can't imagine him bouncing the Crag. Yep, there goes the Prism.
no, I don't think so. Having another card is going to be worth more than one life is, presuming it even makes it to his turn. Because he stepped out here.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
And so Troy can just win, right? He has the second Vines in hand, so he can just do it.
yeah. So how much?
Troy has
Six.
2 Vines in hand.
So if Jordan blocks all on the safe hold elite and then a mirror on the young wolf, so there's the mirror on the one young wolf, and then we'll see how much he puts on the safe hold elite. There's no real reason not to just block with everything because he will lose to just any pump.
Right.
So how much damage does he have to do now? He has to do 8 damage.
So there's
And
9 toughness on that elite.
No, he's got to do 8 damage on top of what's already there. Sorry, I should have said that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's played a land for the groundswell, so that is just 2/2. Vines of West.
So he has 8. He has it in his hand. He has 2 vines in his hand. I'll just do it.
Isn't Vines...
Oh, but it gives it Shroud. That's right.
Shroud, yeah.
That's right. And he didn't play a land, so Groundswell won't finish it.
Vines is just hexproof.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not actually hexproof, but can't be targeted.
Oh yeah, it just gives it hexproof, so that'll just do it, yeah.
Can't be targeted by opponents. Specifically not hexproof because if one of your opponent's creatures has it, then they can't target it either, even though it's their creature.
Which is a real line of play in that deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be 8, and that's going to do it.
Well, Troy still has to cast the second Vines.
He does. Let's see if he can do basic math. Oh, he's got a mutagenic growth from somewhere. I guess I...
Oh, was it off... Where? No, it was not off screen. I didn't see where that came from.
I don't know if the stream's really laggy or what's going on, but...
And Troy's playing a young... Oh, the young wolf died? What's going on? How did he not die? He didn't... He thought that Vines gave it Shroud.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he realized what Vines of Astwood actually did, and so he went ahead and just pumped it with the mutagenic growth.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But he had the groundswell too, so he still could have made it lethal. I'm not sure what that was all about.
Right. Yeah, because that could have been 4. I don't know if he miscounted or what happened there. I don't think it's going to lose him the game.
Right.
But still not a great point there. So Journey is going to come down on this safe hold elite. He's going to be able to re-equip Bone Splitter and Rancor to the Nettle Sentinel.
I mean, he's just going to find the starting target, right?
Yeah. Or not.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter. He still got the game.
Yeah, but...
Oh, I guess he didn't want to get Galvanic blasted out or something. I don't know.
But he can still get Galvanic blasted out right now.
Well, like, if he only had the 1 mana open last turn.
Right, but he could have still kept the Rancor. Like, now he loses the Rancor. He doesn't have Trample anymore.
Sure he does. He's just going to cast Vines of Astwood on this Nettle Sentinel.
Well, yeah. But...
If you remember that it doesn't give it Shroud.
No, Vines of Astwood doesn't give a Trample.
No, he's Rancoring the Sentinel, right? And so Jordan's blasting in response, and he just lets it happen. Yeah, so I think Troy thinks that Vines of Vastwood gives the creature its targeting Shroud and not opponents. Which, to be fair, I too didn't realize that was the case until just now, until earlier in this match. So,
well, yeah, that's gonna be bad though. That might be enough to get Jordan back in this game.
Yeah, and
that's the kind of piece of knowledge I would have expected him to have after.
Yeah, Troy is definitely
this deck.
Like Stompy is his deck. It's the deck he plays.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan's gonna get this Wellspring for the Rebirth and just get tons of cards and tokens and.
Yeah, if he can find a way to gain some life, he's gonna be in a real good situation here. But
unfortunately,
he's got a lot of toughness on the board there.
But I mean, he's got the Rancor.
I mean, Troy still has ways to get through those extra points of damage.
Right.
It's just not gonna be Not going to be a gimme anymore. He had points to just won that game, and he
Well,
didn't.
well, this time Troy can just cast the Rancor, and then after it resolves, because Jordan won't have any responses, then he can go and Vines and Vassalid it with the kicker, and that'll lock up the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't have to deal with what he thinks are problems with it giving your creature Shroud.
But he's still not doing that. Does he have more pump in his hand? No, he's got 2 cards in hand. My stream is... I'm watching the Twitch stream, and I'm lagging a lot.
Oh yeah, Troy's hand is messed up. That's what's happened. Hold on, let me go fix it real quick. That's what the problem is.
Oh, okay.
Troy's hand cam has been
It's an
wrong
old
for
hand.
quite some time.
Yeah, because I keep looking at that and getting really confused. I'm like, he's got 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, Troy has a Groundswell and a Hunger of the Howl Pack. That's what he has in hand. Which explains why he hasn't been doing stuff.
It still doesn't explain the lines of play from earlier, but it does explain that last turn.
Well, he may not have actually had those cards in hand at that time.
No, it didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
The way that he played out his turns was incorrect. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get that fixed.
Yeah. I believe it's fixed now.
I'll let you know in a few seconds. Looks like we're getting a Faithless Looting flashback.
For some reason, the Troy hand cam had just frozen for some time.
Ooh, here it is. Here it is, the Kabir Crossroads.
Yep.
It's going to mean a lot, I think, to see that get recurred a few more times, perhaps.
And we've got an O-ring here.
Ooh. I presume that's just coming down. Do you think that comes down on the Bone Splitter? Or the Young Wolf? Or is it just gonna... I guess he's just going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Seems dangerous. No, right. He doesn't have to make up for it. Silly. There's a Nest Invader. That's really nice because now he's going to be able to sacrifice that, get the triggers for the Hunger of the Howl Pact.
Right.
Whenever he wants. So, it's too bad that all of Jordan's burn is in his graveyard at this point. Otherwise, he could make something really burn-proof.
He's still got 2 bolts and 3 galvanic blasts, right? Yeah, right now he's got 2 bolts in the graveyard, 1 galvanic blast. So he's got plenty of burn. There's a lot of it's gone.
Let's see, Jordan's just going to go ahead and point those at the Young Wolf, say, there's no such thing as trample. We'll see if Troy uses the pump to say that. I don't think he's going to.
He's looking at it. Oh, he's going for it.
Okay, just the Groundswell?
Looks
or the
like
Hunger?
it. He's hovering over the
Groundswell.
He hasn't clicked yet.
What he can do here is he can Groundswell it, and then off of the Deaths of the Goblins, he can say his Nest Invader and get his board going a little bit wider.
I think my computer died again. What?
Oh no. Looks like we're getting some Groundswelling.
Alright. So gonna pump this up to kill both goblins and get in some damage. Or they're not getting some damage, sorry.
Nope.
Just kill both goblins.
No getting in
trample.
damage.
What's Jordan doing over here with his computer? Alright.
You want to put... Okay. So we'll see if he decides to go with the... to get the +1/+1 counters, and if so, where he puts them. I assume he's going to put them on the Nest Invader because he's preached continuously about going wide instead of tall, meaning diversifying your threats rather than putting all your stuff on one creature that can easily be killed, or in this case, journeyed to nowhere.
Yep.
There's the Hunger of the Howl Pact, and it's going right on the Nest Invader.
Yep,
so
and there
wide it is. Way too wide.
Which avoids this flame slash pretty well.
Yeah.
But now this is the part of the
Young
game where
Wolf
Jordan
doesn't.
has the advantage here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a
Since
flame slash
Troy
for that
has-
next invader. He's got the O-ring for that young wolf.
He's got the O-ring for the Bone Splitter,
Oh yeah, that's true.
which I think is more relevant here.
You are
And the other
probably
thing
right.
is that the most important thing here, at this board state right now, in this situation, and these cards in hand, Troy does not have trample.
That is correct.
and there are 2 Rancors sitting in his yard right now. And so even though Jordan's at 4 life, it's going to take a lot for Troy to be able to push that damage through. Even without the both pieces of removal coming down. So we'll see what he opts for. I think, okay, so he's going to go ahead and O-ring the Nest Invader then.
I like that just because because Jordan has the win, pretty
It's the
much.
immediate
Right?
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bone Splitter can help things long game, but if you drew another Rancor here, that would seal the deal. So yeah, that was correct.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how low he managed to get Troy
Yeah.
in those last few turns.
And he's going to cast his
Glint Hawk's
Period
just been
Ranger,
doing
but it's not going to do a whole lot. The interesting thing
No.
here is he technically has the option to... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, okay. He technically has the option to swing in with a... Oh, he's going to do that, actually. But to say you can put the Bone Splitter on the Eldrazi spawn, see if you can trade away for a creature. Oh, decides not to.
Well, but he can't because the core Skyfisher was up.
Well, he could have given him an option to trade away the Skyfisher, which adds a turn to the clock.
But it wouldn't have. It's a 2-1 versus a 2-3.
Oh, right. It's a 0-1.
That's what I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, because Eldrazi spawn doesn't have power by default. That's fine.
And it looks like this is just going to lock up the game.
Yeah, that's just going to be it. What did he draw there?
He drew a forest.
I don't know. Here might be where he tries to attack and then fake it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because this puts Jordan in a position where he basically...
He has to block, but he
it
has
with
that Goblin
something.
token exactly for that purpose.
Right, so...
And I don't think that Troy has any spells that he can just
There it
cast
goes.
that'll just give him trample, right? Only the Rancors do that, so...
Right. So that's it. Jordan's got the first game in the match. You want to go ahead and update the scores there?
Yep, I will do that.
Awesome. So things are taking a little bit longer than expected due to all of these technical issues, but hopefully it's not too bad after this one. So yeah, I'm pulling up Troy's list right here. Yeah, if you open up OBS, you see how there's the sources? Click on them until you find the one that is highlighted, that highlights it, and then double click on it. Should pull it up. Anyway. And then pull up some other lists. iPhone fan asks, are there any games after this match tonight? Yep, we're hoping to still have 2 more matches tonight. Don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, we
might only be able to fit 1 more round.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do what we can. So sideboarding, we've got Trickeries coming in for Jordan, which is okay. Encircle Protection green, of course, and that's it.
Yeah,
Pretty straightforward.
That's not all it needs.
On Troy's
trying to
side,
see
we've got... I didn't see what he just pulled in there.
We might see Jordan bring in Celestial Flare as well.
Prey Upon... Yeah. Prey Upons are coming in for Troy, it looks like. Yep, and Jordan just brought in the Celestial Flares.
Prey Upon makes sense. Scatter Archer doesn't do anything here. Gleeful Sabotage
Yeah.
could be positioned well.
Yep, that's what came in.
Mm-hmm.
So he just brought in his naturalizes, artifact destruction and stuff like that.
Right.
And Troy already aggressively submitting his list. Jordan deciding to take a little more time there.
Now, the thing is, destroying Jordan's artifacts doesn't necessarily do a ton against him.
But there's this option for blowout here, especially with Troy on the play, where you can play a turn 1 card, and if Jordan tries to play a turn 2 Glint Hawk or something, he can just blow him out by naturalizing his 1 artifact that he has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true.
So Jordan's gonna
because he can, especially if he turned to Skyfishers.
Right.
Or Glint Hawk even.
Yeah.
And then he removes the artifact in response there. And he can just lose it
so we're
entirely.
back in game 2.
Okay.
Hopefully the computer didn't crash. Okay, here we go. We're in.
Yeah. I'm still seeing the...
It should be fixed in a second here. Jordan went to 6, and he kept 6. 1 lander.
Okay, let's see where it goes for him. If he has some removal, it might be okay.
And he didn't get that white mana that he needed, but he has a Flame Slash, so he's gonna go ahead and I think Flame Slash this Nettle Sentinel here just when he can.
Okay. Yeah, he's got enough stuff going on in his hand. If he draws another land, he'll be able to go Wellspring into Rebirth. Oh no, he's got the Great Ferns.
Yeah.
So
He wants to see a white land though.
Oh right, I see what you're saying. Let's see what he decides to go with.
He finds an O-Ring, so he's gonna cast the Wellspring, I guess, draw a card.
Because the thing is, he can play the Prism, use the white mana off the Prism to play the Glinthawk.
Well, not this turn.
Right?
It costs 1
Not
to...
this turn, no.
Yeah. I was surprised, too, that he went with a Wellspring instead of Prism, but it looks like he's just going to go all in on the Kuldotha Rebirth plan.
Yeah. He may also be hoping that he draws into that extra land that he just drew into.
Yeah.
So that he can do Rebirth alongside Prophetic Prism. Just so he can get even more things out on the table. Okay, looks like we're getting the Nettle Sentinel Hunger the Hellpack combo. And Relic of Progenitus came in. That makes sense.
Well,
because
he cut the Faithless Lootings, though. He does still have the one
Faithless
artifact.
Looting, though. Right. Don't
the
discount
Sanctum. He still has the Sanctum Gargoyle, but I believe it's the only card that interacts with his graveyard right now, with all the Faithless Lootings gone.
So Relic's not a huge deal here. Yeah.
He found a Crossroads on his draw step, which comes into play tapped, so it's a little awkward, but it still gains him
but if he
2 life, which is huge.
And it's going to get him his white mana if he chooses to play it that way.
No, he's just going to go for red.
We're going to see a Prism.
Yeah.
Because that way you can get the Prism out right now.
Yes.
And that Crossroads is going to be doing the same thing later as it would be now. So he just wants to keep using his mana efficiently.
Find the Galvanic Blast, and he finds another mountain with his 2 draws off of those 2 cards.
Okay.
So he's taking 5 damage here from this Estimator, which is quite a lot.
Well,
he's going to block it, so no loss there.
Deal.
Yep. Just going to chump it with 1 Goblin token.
Yeah. And here's the obvious disadvantage of going tall instead of wide.
Yep. With no Rancor in Troy's hand.
Here. Just that 1 Kuldotha Rebirth was 3 turns worth of fogs on this board. Which is very rough. What else are we up to? So, is he going to go for the O-Ring here? Is I think the question.
I don't see... He definitely has to be worried about the Rancor. It looks like he's going to start with the Glinthawk.
Okay.
Maybe
so
draw a card.
Yeah, Glinthawk into Prism into Kabir Crossroads, maybe. Or... yeah. Or into Mountain into another Glinthawk. Who knows? He might be crazy.
Well, he can't do Mountain Glinthawk. He needs a... Oh, he has the Prism still. What's going on? We have some screen... There it is. Okay, we have some screen tearing. But he's going Crossroads.
He could go Mountain Glinthawk because he would have replayed the Prism. Yeah, that's what I was getting at there. But I think replaying the Crossroads is just fine there because he's at the point where he wants to be able to bounce that with the core Skyfisher he just got. He wants to at least have that option, I suppose. He's in a pretty good position at this point. I don't know how comfortable he is with it, given that Troy still has 4 cards in hand, but...
And yeah, Troy's just going to Relic him here. I imagine he gets the Rebirth out of there. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if at all possible, he's just going to leave artifacts in there. So,
I mean, he does still have that Sanctum
ton.
Gargoyle.
Yeah. If anything matters, that'll matter. So he's going to play to it.
And another chump block, just another token. Troy really
Just another-
suffering not having that Rancor in hand.
Yeah. So that's fog number 2.
Yep. He's going to untap it to ramp.
He just gets a free Query and Ranger there.
Well, he's going to prey upon here. That's pretty good, I think. Maybe not right now. But,
It is sorcery.
oh, yeah,
so
he's just going
as
to do
well.
it. Oh, it's there's only 1 point of damage marked on that Nest Invader, so
Could he have played the Pit Skulk there?
he didn't get any damage through with Bloodthirst, so it's not super effective.
Oh, right. I always mess that up. I always think that Bloodthirst is just
It's
whenever
raid?
it deals damage or
Oh,
whenever it attacks.
yeah.
I think it's raid, exactly. And I go, oh boy, I attacked him. You can get the Pit Skulk. No, you can't. It's only when it dealt damage.
Although it's unfortunate because Pit Skulk would be really great because Troy couldn't block it. Troy can't jump block it with his goblins, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, he has no way to pump it, so even as a 1/1, it's not that useful. He's just going to wait until he can get in some damage next turn. Hopefully, I think he's just hoping to get in with Nest Invader and Query and Ranger, maybe, but he's
meanwhile,
not going to.
Jordan's drawing loads of cards on this side of the table.
This is just what Boros Kitty does.
Oh, yeah.
It just continues getting card advantage while keeping pace.
Yeah, and this is like the key. We said earlier, turn 5 is right where if he's in a good position in turn 5, and right now he's in a great spot. He's only lost 3 life. He's only
He's up
lost
3
3
cards.
Yeah,
He doesn't. I mean, he's going to have to use that O-ring to get rid of that Nest Invader at some point, but the board isn't particularly frightening to him. There's no trample. There's no, there's no Rancor that's been seen. There's no Bone Splitter that's been seen.
So the thing is, now that he Metalcraft is active now, he doesn't have to use that O-ring. He can just chump it and then Galvanic Blast it.
Ooh, you're right.
That's a much more risky play, just because of any
Just
pump
'cause he
that
can
Troy
pump it.
any pump that Troy has can stop that.
But that is a way to get pump out of Troy's hand as
Right.
well, which may, in and of itself, given that you're going to be doing the block anyway, it may be worth using the Galvanic Blast and just saying, all right, look, here, you're not going to be able to save one of your creatures later.
Yeah.
So, see what he goes with here. I presume Jordan will just wait till end step to put that damage on there. But
So Jordan decided to go ahead and block with the Glint Hawk. I'm a little surprised by that decision.
do you see what he's doing here?
Oh, he's
So
not.
now Troy's casting the Mutagenic Growth. He's Galvanic Blasting the Quirion Ranger. Interesting. So I guess he didn't want to be really blown out by Galvanic Blasting the Nest Invader. That was a really good play by Troy.
I'm not sure why he needed to do the block there. Oh, just to force the pump, because... Oh, I see. So he wanted to force him to use the pump to save the Quirion Ranger.
Right. So... now I'm not sure
I wonder,
why.
though, why he didn't do it in response. Why he let it resolve first.
Yeah, it's a good point, because if he had any other...
Pumps, yeah, that could have just done it.
Yeah, he could have made it a trade instead of...
Well, no, if he had like another pump spell in his hand, it would have become a 5/5 even.
Right, but Galvanic Blast would have done damage, and then Glint Hawk would have done damage.
right,
So
but
they
then
still would have traded.
You would have traded with the Glint Hawk, which I guess it still would have been an advantage for him.
Yeah.
He's gaining cards, which I guess, to be fair, he if he's making trades like that, he actually wants to do that.
But if you had the choice between either...
So Troy's gonna pop the relic here, and I think that's okay, just because he doesn't want, I guess, the relic to come down, or the O-ring to come down and get the relic.
Okay.
I
guess
know.
I'll buy it, because I can't think of anything else there.
Yeah, I can't imagine Jordan actually making that decision, but okay.
Well, and also because the relic's not doing a ton in this matchup,
Right.
so... Maybe Troy thinks it's more important than it is,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
And here's a really awkward gleeful sabotage cast without conspire.
Yeah, I mean, what's he even gonna hit? This he can hit the spell bomb.
Nope, he's actually going to change his mind and go with the pit skulk instead.
That's probably fine. Looks like things might get a little bit bogged down from here on out. We'll see if he throws another pit skull.
Yep, and he's going to do
So
that.
what he can do is he can play the pit skull. Well, what he could have done
Is it
is he
mutagenic growth
plays
the
the
old
pit
pit
skull
skulk?
now. Yeah, mutagenic growth next turn, so that Troy or Jordan wouldn't be able to block, and then play the other pit skulk because it would have dealt damage because it would have gotten in because its power would have been large enough. So.
I think the main thing here is that even if he gets a bloodthirsted pit skulk, the Glinthawk can still block it.
That's a fair point.
It gets into it doesn't even get in more damage. So I don't know. It's
No,
not. It
it's-
trades, which is I guess a little better, but
But I mean, having a 1/1 is just so irrelevant, as in it doesn't even trade with the Glinthawk.
right. Especially if
I mean,
on one of these many draws Jordan finds an Electrickery, which would just be a huge blow.
mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's a journey. So
Yeah, and I mean, his creatures right now are not even worth journeying.
no, he's not. And that's why he's not even going to cast it. He's just going to pass.
He can just attack in and then mutagenic growth one of them when it gets blocked by the Skyfisher. But it looks like he's just going to Gleeful Sabotage. So what's he targeting here? So he's targeting O-Ring.
So he's going to get
Of
two
course.
targets here. It looks like it's going to be O-Ring and maybe Prism. I mean, maybe a land. He could get a land here.
Land makes sense.
Especially
Probably Ancient Den, if
the
anything.
Ancient Den is probably the right call here. He's got very few white sources.
Did he just target O-Ring twice? Oh no, Prophetic Prism. So he did decide to go with the Prism.
And that's fine too. That's also a white source.
And the other nice thing about that is that now,
He has fewer
Jordan
things to bounce.
yeah, because if he draws a Cold Oath or Rebirth and then a way to bounce later, he won't have the ways to draw cards. Well, he can always Cold Oath or Rebirth the Spell Bomb, so I guess it's a moot point.
Another Nesting
well.
Raider. It's got double mutagenic growth in hand.
Goodness. And
Jordan's just going to draw a
Turn
card off his
5.
spell bomb.
may as well get a creature so you can block with. And they can block those pit skulks.
Yep.
So,
Here's another little bauble. Lets him draw some more cards.
yep. Goodness.
In for 4.
Yep.
And it looks like Jordan's pretty much locked this game up.
Mm-hmm.
He just has way too much card advantage right now.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that Boros Kitty is one of those decks where it never feels like it's won.
Right.
There's no one point in the game where you look at it and you point at it and you go, yes, this right here is what happened.
Exactly. That's
It's
how.
just that it
yeah.
incrementally just gets all of these little by little advantages.
Right. It doesn't cast any big
incrementally
flashy
neat.
bomby spells. I mean, I guess
There's no flip
Galvanic
delvers.
Cast is Galvanic Blast is a pretty big spell, but
But it's removable most of the time.
right.
You know, it's mostly a flame slash.
Right. But yeah, it just draws you so many cards, and if we look at the libraries here, he's 6 cards up right now on Troy.
Yeah.
So that's just huge.
And Troy doesn't really have a board position to compensate for that either.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some 1/1s, a 0/1. Jordan's got blockers and more things that are going to be able to draw him cards later. So,
Right. And Electrickery here still just completely blows Troy out.
yeah, it's a complete one-sided board wipe. And he's going to get there at some point if the game doesn't end by then.
Well, so here's a bolt, and so I think this is he's 1 short
Oh, of lethal.
of just going to the
Next
face for
turn.
lethal.
Next turn, though.
Yep.